Skyzone.Society.
Yo, what's going on, peoples? Welcome to the Zone Sports Podcast. I'm your boy Big V. You already know what that is over there. You should anyway.
What up? Hey, your boy COOLC, aka Corey, man. Wait, man, we up in this thing, man. We chilling. We chilling right now.
You know what I mean? Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody out there. You know what I mean? We filming this on St. Patrick's
Hey,
Day.
I got my green in the back on the stops on the street sign back there. That's my green right there.
I see that. You know what I mean? Yo, man, this pod is brought to you by Skyzone.Society, my brand. You know the logo by now. You know what I mean? Make sure you shopping at Skyzone.Society.bigcartel.com. You know what I mean? Get everything from there, man. The tees, the hats, candles, whatever you need, man. You know what I mean? I got it for y'all, man. You know what I mean? We're going to jump the pod off, man. We're going to jump right into it. Craziness.
Let's talk sports, baby.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? First of all, I want to apologize to the fans and the listeners out there on YouTube and the SoundCloud. Yo, we was trying to record last week. Zoom was tripping. We couldn't get it together. Yeah. You know what I mean? But we got y'all, man. We covering topics that we had last time plus some new ones, man. You know what I mean? So we gonna jump right into it, man. Cause yo, Dak got paid. Dak got paid, man. Dak Prescott got paid, baby. He got paid, man. You know what I mean? Big crazy deal, $160-something million worth. You know what I mean? 126 guaranteed money. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's crazy, yo. Like, how did you feel about the deal? You think he worth the money? Like, what you thinking, man? Like,
man, I'm torn between this and I'm torn because I think and I don't want to, good Lord, there's enough Cowboys fans out there to speak for themselves or whatnot. I think that Jerry Jones did overpay, but you this is the market for quarterbacks, right? Like they don't grow on trees like other positions. They're not easily replaceable through the draft like wide receivers are, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like this deal is kind of Kirk Cousin-ish in a deal to whereas, look, you had the deal to where he wasn't on the field for the most part last season and you saw what happened, right? And I feel like that the Cowboys are in a position where the NFC East, or as Skip Bayless would call them, the NFC least, is so wide open, right? It's so wide open. And there's no reason that Dallas, on paper, shouldn't win the NFC East for the next 2 or 3 years. And so I say all that to say this. What does what cost to you? You're paying great money to me for somebody that's good. Good and great are two different things. But at the same time, you could look, there's so many, this is what makes this shit so phenomenal and fascinating. Depending on your perspective on life can determine how you feel about whether he should have gotten the money or not, right? Because, just as I'm an employee, I don't own anything, right? But you could ask your boss to, like, you're your own boss. I'm just saying for us other 9-to-5 cats, how much is a good worker worth? A good worker that don't call out, that rallies the team together, that's kind of the extension of the boss on the field, that's always dependable and stuff like that, which is what Dak is. And with Dak playing, you're more in games than you're out of games. He can't throw you out, but a lot of people can. And who is kicking down the door? When Russell Wilson made it known that Dallas was one of his teams, and this is old news now because that's last week, or whatever, that might be something where you may want to just kind of empty out the bank and be like, you know what, nah, let's do this. But is he worth that money? No, but I could argue a whole bunch of quarterbacks ain't worth that money. I felt like the money that they paying him now, had they done this maybe like a year or two ago and extended him, it probably would have Dallas probably could have done it at a lower price, or whatnot, and pay him less over time. But with the cap going down in the NFL this upcoming season, you're going to see a lot of teams. You're already starting to see it. Dallas was one of them. You're going to be a few others where they front loaded. So Dak is getting like $75 million guaranteed this upcoming season. Most of that is converted into like a signing bonus, which someone in YouTube land and SoundCloud land, correct me, I don't think that counts towards the cap, or it's manipulated in a way where it's not recognized by the cap like a typical roster bonus or your base salary would be. So like the numbers, and I don't have them up right now, but the numbers of his base salary is like at like 20 million, like 15 to 20 million per year. And you got voids out, after that, like fourth or fifth year and stuff like that. I ain't gonna get too deep in all that because I don't want to confuse myself talking about it. But overall, is he worth the money? Sometimes it's just about being good enough, or whatnot. And if you got somebody that's good enough, and there's a scarcity, you're only worth what somebody willing to pay. And they paying them. Good for Dak. You know what I'm saying? You game the system. I love it. What you think, big dog?
I love the fact that he got paid. You know what I mean? Salute to Dak. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I mean, they're paying him based on the market, and if we being honest with you, which we do on this podcast, they gave enough money to some bum ass white quarterbacks over the past few years. So yes,
that's true.
You should be paying this man. You know what I mean? I mean, last time I checked, he hadn't done no worse than what the previous quarterback before him was doing. Let alone other quarterbacks that's been in the league as well who have gotten paid. And I'm not even gonna call any names, but I do like the fact that he was like it was a little bit Kirk Cousin-ish. You know what I mean? Because because Kirk Cousin got paid, and we're not even going to. That's a whole other issue for today. Hey, look, Kirk got his money. I'm glad he got his money, but when we talking worth. They were just throwing money around in the NFL that the Kirk got paid, but that's another conversation for a whole other day.
That's a whole nother hour podcast.
Oh my God, man. So yeah, I'm glad that he got paid. What I don't like about it is this. I turned on the press conference. And this is when Dak got to get his money, and that wasn't happening. And I hear Jerry Jones say, I don't mind overpaying for things that I like.
Bang. Shots fired.
Corey.
Woo. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I didn't like the fact of how he kept saying overpaid for that. Like
I felt the way about that.
I did. And I'm gonna tell you, man. This is his press conference to announce his big time contract that he's probably been looking forward to since his rookie year, since he got up on that rookie deal. So this is a celebratory moment. This isn't the time for Jerry to start talking that bullshit that he's talking during this black man's press conference. And I'm not trying to make this racial, but to me, Jerry, you make it a little
something
racial.
To be said.
You know what I mean? You make it a little racial because to me, here it is Dak's day, and you acting like the slave now. Hey man, you can do a little bit. I'll let you do because I overpaid for you. You know what I mean? But let me throw my 2 cents in while you celebrate. Let me step on your celebratory press conference by saying, yo, I don't mind if I overpay. Like, no, Jerry, nobody asked you if you overpaid. Nobody asked you a goddamn thing, Jerry. Like, nobody cares about your fucking opinion, Jerry. What you need to do is pay the man, get the fuck out of the press conference. And if you are going to be there, let's be positive. Let's say, yo, man, how about some remarks like this? Man, I've been knew he was a reference since he was a rookie. I had the vision. That's why I drafted him. None of that was said. Where was that at? Like this was your time. This was your time to say, you know what? I knew it all along. I know he can get the job. Yeah. This was your time to elevate your guy. And to me, he didn't do that. And that fucked up the whole press conference. That pissed me off.
It did. When I first heard that, I was kind of like, man, you know what, Dak, fuck that guy. Just be happy you got your money. And I think what a lot of people aren't really talking about is that the fact that he's a 4th round pick and he's playing. I mean, he was basically by NFL standards playing for a bag of peanuts. Right. The same way Russell Wilson was when they won the Super Bowl in Seattle. What we're also not talking about when, the whole Colin Kaepernick issue was just rampant in the NFL, how Dak probably even against his better judgment or going against black folks or whatever, is kind of like rallying the troops. Hey, man, chill, man. Nah, Jerry got a point with this whole thing, man. Look, man, we here to do a job. We here to work. Most black quarterbacks probably wouldn't have done that. And that's what I'm saying with guys like Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott, where they told that company line, how much is that worth to you, right? Like, how much of a price tag do you put on that? Because bottom line, your head coach and your quarterback is damn near like a damn married couple. They got to be lockstep and key. And you see the remnants of that with Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans, where look, Jerry says this or our coach says this. Yeah, hey, come on, guys. We'll do our job. We're blessed to be here. Yada, yada, yada. Like most cats like, no, because the thing about it with some quarterbacks, sometimes they too just want to be like one of the guys. And that's not a position where you could just be one of the guys or whatever. You either more so in lock with management and ownership, or you're with one of the guys. And that does that. So you had them basically playing for free the first couple of years. You franchised them, or whatever. And look, he deserve it? Hell yeah, he deserve it. Hell yeah, he deserved to get paid. He deserved to get paid, and I'm glad he got paid. Now, I don't know what they're going to do on defense. That's a whole nother conversation with the cap and all that stuff there, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Dallas moving forward this season, because I don't know how they're going to have to really get nasty with some drafting from offensively, at least on paper, they straight. But defensively, man, they have got to get busy. They may, hopefully they may have some free agents that are coming there on a veteran minimum to fill out that stuff there. But that defense is going to be real interesting this upcoming season with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, we're going to see, man. And I mean, can they get out of this 8-8 slump that they be on? You know what I mean? 7-8, 8-8, 8-8. Can y'all?
The East is wide open.
It's wide open. You know what I mean? But can y'all overcome that?
And it shouldn't be.
And it shouldn't be. I mean, was it this season that damn near everybody in the East had a losing record?
Yes. Yep.
What?
Yeah. And I tease about this. It won't happen. But I'm like, yo, if you can't at least go 500 in your respective division, or really period overall, then that team should go to that they should forfeit the playoffs. And then whoever got the next best record in the conference should take that spot. There's no way in hell you should be getting to the playoffs with a losing record.
Absolutely.
Look, if you go 8-8, then I stand corrected. But if you start doing that whole 7-9, 6-10 bullshit,
no.
you forfeit your spot, and your spot goes to the next best available record, because that is ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. Yeah, that has to change, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And speaking of change, man, Drew Brees retired. Drew Brees retired.
Yep, out of there.
Oh,
yep,
man.
out of there.
Oh, man. Man. I ain't gonna lie, I was shocked when I got the news he retired, man. I ain't gonna lie. I was a little shocked.
I thought he was gonna come back at least one more year.
I thought he had one more in him. You know what I mean? He made a legacy down there for himself down there down in New Orleans, man. He cut from that.
Yeah, he did.
He cut from that cloth of underdog, so to speak. You know what I mean?
He really is.
He's one of the shortest quarterbacks there is. You know what I'm saying? They always talk about how he was too short and this and that, and late draft pick. I mean, he bought the city a championship for the first time. You know what I mean? Like,
can't argue that.
I know I know in the time of stupidity and not knowing, he said some crazy things. You know what I mean?
He did.
He said some crazy things. You know what I mean? We moved past it because again, he was honest about it and said he didn't know, and he was speaking from his experience and his base, which I would never ever not. You know what I mean? Because you know what you know, and that's just, and you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, so, I agree.
But the point is, nobody can even take away from all the charity work that he's done down there in that city that I've heard about. You know what I mean? Him and his wife have donated millions of dollars out of their own pocket. You know what I mean? Call the tax off. Call it whatever the fuck you want to. He did it. You know what I mean? Hurricane Katrina, he was there front line. Like, I have nothing but good things to say about Drew Brees, man. Like, that's it for me, man.
Yeah. With Drew Brees, man, when he was playing with the then San Diego Chargers and he had that shoulder injury, which kind of just sparks like a whole bunch of other things when was it Nick Saban that was coaching in Miami at the time, and he wanted to get Drew Brees, and the medical staff was like, nah. And then, Nick Saban was up. So that set a whole bunch of chains in action because they thought when he was playing in San Diego that he was shot. And I thought he was too. I mean, that was, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was his throwing shoulder that was having those issues. So for New Orleans to take a chance on him, and to basically be like, you're going to be our guy, man. Look, no, I don't think many people saw the career that he had in New Orleans happening because, for one, all due respect, it's New Orleans. You never, I mean, they was called the New Orleans Aints. Fuck the Saints, they're the Aints.
Yeah.
And they, and you talking about, I mean, you and I, we're around the same age. I mean, New Orleans, prior to Drew Brees getting there, man, they've been irrelevant. Like I mean, you can't even really call them a mid-tier team. They're damn lower echelon team. Like it just wasn't there. They was barely on TV. They was barely in the mix. And so when you got Drew Brees and Sean Payton going down there, man, and making that shit into a powerhouse, especially in the NFC South, to compete with your Atlantas and Panthers and the Bucks and all that. I mean, man, you got to give props to Drew Brees and Sean Payton on that. And really, like you said, with the whole Hurricane Katrina, embracing that and setting a culture. I think his dad, I want to say, not his dad, but I know like Archie Manning and the Mannings, they, I know Archie Manning, he played for the Saints way back before our time, or whatever. And he was just talking about like the culture and stuff like that. And I do believe that, New Orleans, man, they embrace you. Like if you with them, they with you. Yeah. And to take that and to embrace it and to never really hear anything about, oh, I might leave and do this, I might leave and do that and this, that, and the third. And not only that, get you a ship. Yeah. I mean, man, that nothing but props to Drew Brees, and I wish him well in his retirement. Yeah, he definitely made a mistake coming into this season. Look, man, I'm glad we came up during the era where cameras weren't everywhere and where you won't know Twitters and all that stuff, because I know damn well I would have said something stupid. I think people said a whole lot worse. Yeah. I do think it was a teachable moment for him to get educated. And I'm like, well, fuck me.
Shout out Michael Thomas.
Absolutely.
On that too. Shout out Michael Thomas.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, man, if we're going to condemn people, white, black, or whatever, you got to at least give them a fair shake to try to redeem themselves. And, it seems like, fuck me, but if the locker room is okay with it, then who am I to say whatever? Because people are going to always have their opinions about the flag, and people are always going to have their opinion on people who chose to kneel with the flag and the anthem. So, and that ain't going to go away with anybody. So, that being said, look, I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
He's definitely a Hall of Famer. You can argue whether he's first ballot or not. I don't really get in all that. I don't give a damn if I'm a 12 ballot Hall of Famer. Just get me up in that bitch.
Yeah, he's in there. He's definitely.
Yeah, he's in there. So salute to Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints.
Facts, man. Word. Brees, man. And man, it seemed like as soon as he got up out of there, Jameis Winston got paid. You know what I mean? Jameis Winston got paid. Like I ain't gonna lie, that shocked the fuck out of me. What he got a year, maybe 12 million or something like that? He got something like that?
Yeah, it was crazy how quick they went ahead and moved on Jameis Winston. Because I thought that
is he their guy?
You know what? I don't know yet. I think he should. I think he should be. Because when I think of Taysom Hill, I do think of a guy that you can plug in and do some gadget type shit with. I think you can do that, but now having him be your bread and butter, I don't know. To me, Jameis Winston, if he can clean up those interceptions, he does everything else great. He really does. Them interceptions, if he could just cut those interceptions from damn 30 to like 18.
But you know what,
15.
though? You know what else he got to do? He got to cut all that bullshit he be doing too outside of the fucking field. He be pissing me off.
Yeah.
He pissed me off
that maturity.
Tampa. You know what I mean? When I was fucking with Tampa,
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I know he's gonna fuck shit up, and he did, man. He did. He's a fucking gunslinger. One minute you're like, oh my god, this is crazy. He's like the illest quarterback in the world. Then the next second you're like, yo, what the fuck was he thinking? Like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I remember watching one thing.
The inconsistency.
Oh man, I think I was watching him play against the Falcons one year. I mean, it was horrible. He was like maybe 6 picks that game. It was horrible. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying he can't get the job done, but it brings up a good point. Like, yo, y'all gave this man a year contract, right? $12 million or so. And keep in mind, Drew just left. And there's a lot of quarterbacks that they could have went out and made a play.
That's true.
And I'm not even on front to tell you, I like that Hill guy. I like when he was out.
Yeah.
I like when Brees was out and he was running the show. I like what I seen, man. Yeah. I like the upside of that kid. I want to be first to say, I think if he does have upside, And let me tell you, man, listen, he's a stud, bro. He's a big quarterback, bro. And I feel like, given the opportunity, I'm gonna put this scenario right because this is probably what's gonna happen. They may start Jameis, but they know in the back of their mind he's gonna fuck up somewhere more than likely. And they're gonna keep Hill to say, you know what, we knew this was gonna happen. And it seems like Hill may be a little bit more mature than him. I don't know yet, but they may be keeping Hill. We'll find out. I think they're keeping Hill because they see the upside within the next maybe 4 or 5 years. He may start to blossom, give him the opportunity. And they know how Jameis can get. They're keeping Hill as a contingency plan, I guarantee you.
Well, and I think they're doing more than that. I was just watching SportsCenter right before we came on, and according to Sean Payton, it's going to be an open quarterback competition.
Oh, so boy, that's going to be good.
No one is automatically starting yet. So Jameis Winston, that spot ain't locked in. He's going to have to earn that spot.
I'm here to tell you, man.
Like according to SportsCenter and Adam Schefter, like Sean Payton sat down with both Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston and said, "Look, guys, open quarterback competition. No hard feelings. May the best man win. Shake hands on it. Let's go." So,
boy, that's gonna be.
And look, these guys, the coaching staff and everybody. Look, we only see these guys on Sunday. They see them throughout the week. You know, whatever. And Sean Payton ain't no dummy. So I think he's going to pick the right person. So it will remain to be seen. That's for sure. So
I can't
it's going to be an interesting year.
I can't wait, but I'm telling you that I'm not going to be surprised if I see Hill start. I'm not even going to be surprised.
Surprised? No, not surprised at all.
Nah. You know what I mean? Nah. Also, man, while we talking about people who got paid, yo, shout out to Cam Newton, baby. Cam Newton got paid. You know what I mean? He did a veteran deal. Sorry, not a veteran deal. I get the veteran and the 1 year confused. He did a 1 year deal with the Patriots, man. You know what I mean? He did 12, 13 million or so like that. Look.
That's fair.
Bro, I'm proud. Bro. It goes back to the whole podcast that we did where we was talking about how the little boy was spouting off at Cam about how he was ass and all that at Cam's football game.
Yeah.
And Cam kept telling him, dude, I'm rich. This is to further that conversation once more. Dude, he's rich.
About that.
If he's so ass, why did the Patriots bring him back for a whole other year? You know what I mean? And keep in mind, Cam only played maybe 8 games.
I think that's what people keep forgetting. Like, dude, he ain't even played a whole season.
And look what he did in 8 games. And if you
look at what he did,
games,
and look at, and you're talking about it seems like it was brought up during the beginning, and as the season goes along, people tend to forget. Dude, you had like 30 billion opt-outs for the Patriots this upcoming season due to COVID, right? And so, Cam Newton, they was playing with a whole bunch of nobodies, like. And I get it. The Patriot way, you go for championships. Like, I get it. Like, I get all of that. But it is something to be said, given who they had and the options that was available, and the fact that Cam Newton was out for a couple of games for them to still win 7 games. I get it. 7-9 normally is not impressive, but you got to take circumstances in it. Everything is just not a value or whatnot. And the fact that this guy had COVID, like, we are still investigating society-wise of the effects of COVID and the effects that they can have on the athlete's body. The fact that you may have an enlarged heart, the fact that you may get tired a hell of a lot quicker. The long hauler aspect that nobody really is talking about, whether it's memory issues, just being alert, responsive, just little small things that we take for granted. I'm not saying none of that is happening with Cam, but what I'm saying is that you have to take that into consideration. If you want to just say scratch COVID, fine. Let's scratch the hell out of COVID. Dude, the dude had 30 billion opt-outs, man. Come on now. That's all I'm saying. I could see if he was loaded like Tom Brady with Tampa Bay, and I'm not knocking Tom Brady for that because it is what it is, or whatever. But dude, I can't name a wide receiver that he threw to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that the Patriots did the right thing by doing a re-up this year, by at least saying, hey, look, you know what, Cam? Look, you didn't have a whole lot to work with. Yeah, and the fact of, due to COVID, you didn't have no preseason, no OTAs. You ain't had none of that. So, dude, 7-9 and I get it because Tom Brady is the anomaly, and dude, I get that. I respect that. And when you're the GOAT, it's probably different. But for normal earthlings, when you are a brand new quarterback coming into a new system, especially one as complex as a Bill Belichick ran offense, dude, it's something to be said about that. That's all I'm saying. I think the COVID year, with almost any sport, you got to throw this year out. Now, everything starts from this point forward at this point. But come on, man. He was just playing in Carolina last year. I watch these Hard Knocks that come on HBO. I'm the junkie that I'll sit there and I'll watch these different types of sports shows and all that, where they draw up schemes and stuff like that. And it's each from team to team. The offensive schemes is almost like a different language. You may say, hey, blue 42 in Carolina, that may mean something, but blue 42 in New England may mean something totally different. Absolutely. Omaha, whatever the hell, Peyton Manning. Like, you got to learn all of that, dog. Like that.
And for someone who, and we both play football, so we know how difficult learning that playbook can be. You know what I mean? Like that's an entire summer. You know what I mean? Like, it's a reason why you get the playbook during what we used to call what was it, passing league. You know what I mean? Like, it was the reason why you had the passing leagues, and it was to get familiar with how to run the offense as well as how to run people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not an easy task. Like, it's not an easy task learning the language, because, like you said, this here
and having it become second nature.
Oh my God, that's tough. That's tough. Like you said, this could mean this in Carolina, but when I get over here to New England, that means a whole another different thing. And people who never play sports, and people who play sports, I don't think they take it into consideration.
Yeah, I don't either. No.
But salute to Killer Cam. Salute to Cam for getting paid again, man. You know what I mean? But this next topic, bro, it hurt me. You know what, man?
I know it did.
You know,
broke your heart. I know.
You know, man, we did a podcast not too long ago, man, and this is right when we started Winks. This was the Winks podcast, and
I
say, I thought they would have made Jacoby the guy, and I say, well, that's kind of a dope combination to have Jacoby back in Winks just in case. But
yeah, I agree.
That had me kind of hyped. Maybe we can do our 1-2. I don't know, but
yeah.
If y'all haven't heard, my man Jacoby Brissett, former Indianapolis coach for my squad, he has left to join the Miami Dolphins. He has took his talents to Miami Beach, ladies and gentlemen.
Taking his talents to South Beach.
Oh my God, man. Let me tell you.
I was thinking about you when I heard this story.
Man.
I know you love him.
I love him. I love Jacoby, man, and
Yeah,
don't get it twisted, man. He deserves to get started in this league. He deserves to start
yeah,
somewhere in this league. I don't think that Miami that he will start. I think he may. I think they're really well invested in Tua down there. Um,
yeah,
I also just saw that Fitzpatrick just did his deal. But I think
yeah.
the Redskins. Am I wrong?
Um, yes.
Was it the
Yep.
Redskins? Okay, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
I think they're really invested on that note in Tua. So he may be backing up Tua. That's what I'm thinking. Either way,
Yeah.
him Tua and having Jacoby as a backup,
Yeah.
Miami man. I mean, hey, I like it. I like it. I like it. I like the I like the formula. I like the thought of it. I don't know. It sounds good on paper right now. Um,
Yeah.
I like it. I'm happy for Jacoby that he he's getting his money and he's moving on to seems like to be better things for him, man. I hate that he left
You
though.
know, I know you did. I know you did. And I tell you what, man, I heard someone describe Jacoby Brissett as a adult in the room. Like he's an extremely mature guy. And the fact that he's even going to be around Tua is good for Tua, right? And I'm with you. I would like to see him start somewhere or whatnot, and not even really have it be a quarterback competition. I know he had a run or so with your Colts or whatnot, and I get that. But I kind of wish, maybe it could just be our biases or whatnot, but I almost wish that a team would take a shot on him as being the franchise quarterback.
Absolutely.
I feel like that he is like Teddy Bridgewater-ish, Tyrod Taylor-ish, where it's kind of like he's the gap / bridge quarterback. And I just want, even if it's just for 1 year, man, like be like, hey, look, you know what, Brissett, you're the guy. Fuck the quarterback competitions and any of that. Like we believe in you enough to give you a fair shake for 2 or 3 years. Cause I think he's that good, and I think he could only get better. I mean, he's a young guy. I don't know exactly how old he is, but it ain't like he's old by sports standard. And I felt like he just never really had that. Even when the Colts had him, your Colts had him, they were still looking around and enter Phillip Rivers, So, he always had, and I get it. That's competition. That's the nature of the game, to play with someone over your back. And technically, no one shouldn't technically be exempt from that. But man, if I just had a genie in a bottle and to make a wish, man, just get this guy a fair shake for 2 or 3 years. And you know what? If it don't work, it doesn't work. Because I think, unfortunately, he's going to turn into a journeyman. That's kind of like where it's going at right now. I thought the coach was going to stick with him, but then the Carson Wentz thing happened, and that kind of nixed that. So I hope he gets a fair shake somewhere. I really do. I really do. If not with Miami,
yeah. I really hope he does, man. Especially with Miami. I think to what you said, man. He needs to go somewhere where he can basically, just start. Well, not kind of start over. You know what I mean? Like start. You know what I mean? Like that's what really bugs me the fuck out, because you telling me he can't even play for White. Washington could have signed him.
Come on, right?
That started him. Come on, man. It's no slight to Fitz Magic. I fuck with Fitz Magic. You know what I mean? But you're telling me that when you're talking long term, you don't think that Jacoby will be better for your organization than Fitzpatrick?
Yeah.
Like, man, I don't know. I mean, you could stick him on the Bengals if you want to. It don't matter. You know what I mean? It's a lot of squads that deserve Jacoby Brissett's talent.
Yeah, and it's a shame, man, but that's how it is, because when you come in hot shit on the stick out of college, that organization at least going to ride with you for like a year or two, right? But when you're a journeyman or a backup quarterback, it's like, oh, okay, you might not even play for weeks, in some cases maybe even years at a time, minus preseason, and then it's like I'm getting evaluated based off me being thrown into the fire. whatnot. It's like, how do you judge that? Because you got to look at it. Your number twos and number threes normally ain't taking the snaps with their number ones in practice. So the chemistry and all that, and football is such a highly choreographed sport. Man, you got to have that. And I'm just saying that you shouldn't be so dinged for that. It's kind of like, man, if you don't set the world on fire within like 3 or 4 games, like, he'll be a cool backup. And it's like, I just hope you don't get in that status. So hopefully he won't. And look, it's a lot to be said about Tua, whether he's really going to lock down that starting spot. It may not be locked down. So I think that if I know Jacoby the way that I think I know him, because I don't know him personally, obviously, he's going to work his ass off and fight his ass off for that spot. But, we'll see. Miami pulled Fitzpatrick out when he was rocking and rolling. So
man.
Some funny dudes down there.
But
shout out to Flores.
Hey man, shout out to Flores, man. Hey, shout out to Jacoby once again, man. I wish you the best. You know what I mean? We're gonna miss you out there in Indy, man. You know what I mean? You know what though? You know who fault this ultimately is, and I'm gonna do a whole other podcast on this. And I'm gonna give you my theory. I'm just gonna throw this out here. You know who fault this ultimately is? This is Andrew Luck's fault. But I'm not even gonna get into all that. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I don't even have the time.
Boy, you right.
I'm not even gonna do it. I don't even have the time.
When you said that we would need a whole nother podcast for that, you couldn't have said nothing more right. Don't get me started.
Boy,
you're right.
Rabbit hole. Oh my God. But you know what, man? We're gonna shift gears to the NFL, to the NBA. You know what I mean? Recently, the boy Blake Griffin signed to the Nets, baby. You know what I mean? I know you had Philly coming out. I know you had Philly coming out of the East. But let me ask you this, Corey.
Yeah.
Does Blake Griffin joining the Nets change your mind about Philly winning the East? What you got?
Man. It doesn't change my mind yet.
Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you why. Because to me, Blake Griffin is a unknown to me right now.
Okay.
He's been in purgatory with the Detroit Pistons, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't really watched the Detroit Piston game since they whooped up on our Lakers back in 2004.
Okay.
And I don't know jack shit about Detroit. I'll be honest with you. They don't show them on TV. I don't have League Pass. You could go off of numbers and stuff like that. What he's at, I think he was averaging like 12 and like 8 or so, some ridiculously low bar numbers. Is he the Griffin of the Clippers? No, I don't think so. I mean, they say he's not really even dunking anymore. But that being said, the reason why I say and I get it, because we talk sports, so it's always one or the other. But the real answer is we will see. We will see because, he has something to play for now, right? Yeah. Like Detroit, he was just down. He's just down there in Detroit, just being down there in the D.
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking it. But Detroit had a couple of good runs with the Rasheed Wallace and Tayshaun Prince and Billups era. Then before that, the Isaiah Thomas and the Bill Laimbeer era and things of that nature. So that is an organization for all my Detroit heads out there. I don't want to shit on y'all, but so much. That is an organization that could catch fire. And when they catch fire, they could catch it extremely quickly. But that hasn't been the case in the past couple of years. So when these moves happen, when these quote unquote superstars go from a place like LA or to a Boston and they go down to a Detroit or they go down to a Charlotte or they go down to an Orlando or a Sacramento, what is the mindset of that player? Am I here just to basically stay in the league and get my check? Where keeping it funky, you don't really know the chances of you getting the Larry O'Brien trophy is even a realistic possibility. Or is it kind of like, man, you know what, man, I'm gonna bust my ass and even though I'm here, I'm gonna advertise myself to the next suitor or whatnot. So I think it is a safe move for Brooklyn. I think it is a good move for Brooklyn. And I think if you get a Blake Griffin that is motivated, he can't be the Clippers Blake Griffin, but he could be what I would call a good enough Blake Griffin. So when that second unit is out there, man, he could really do some damage. So I'm not ready to close the book on Blake Griffin quite yet. I'm just not. So it's really to be determined. But no, I'm not changing my mind yet. But now with Joel Embiid going down, hopefully he'll come back soon within a couple of weeks, like they say. I still got Philly coming out the East, but I tell you what, boy, with Blake Griffin get there, it gets a whole hell of a lot interesting with the Nets if it wasn't already.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, and I know you said that people were talking about how Blake don't dunk anymore. I mean, how the fuck can he? Ain't nobody throwing no goddamn lobs down there in Detroit. Who the fuck is the point guard? Let me wait. You don't know. Because guess what? Nobody don't know who the fuck is on Detroit. You know why? Because guess what? They've been stinking up the joint. That's why. That's why he's not fucking dunking. Yo, first of all, it's COVID. Nobody's in the stands. And when it wasn't COVID, nobody was in the stands. He don't want to be there.
Yeah.
No, he don't want to. Yeah. No, he's not dunking. No, he's not putting on a fucking show. It's not Live City. It's not LA. No. It's no disrespect to the city of Detroit. I got people out there. I fucking love Detroit. I am specifically speaking on the organization. No, nobody's dunking down there. He doesn't want to. It's not no live. It's not a remake of Live City because you didn't even didn't even have the right point guard to start out with. And this is no disrespect to my man what's my man Reggie? What is it? Reggie? Yeah, he was the point guard out there. Reggie. Was it Reggie?
Are you talking about for Detroit back in the day?
Yeah.
Are you talking about on Bullet? Yeah.
No, not him. Not him. He got traded to Detroit. He now plays for He played for He spent some time I think in OKC or maybe he did. Dark skin point guard. Kind of short.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
I think his last name is Jackson. I think he did play for the
Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson.
Yeah, Reggie Jackson.
Yeah, I think he did play for OKC at one point in time. But yeah,
he did. He did.
He was a decent point guard, and I fuck with his work ethic. I love Reggie Jackson. But him like that just wasn't getting it done in Detroit. So I'll be honest, man. For me, this was the icing on the cake for the Nets to come out of the East, man. Let me tell you, man. No, matter of fact, I want to walk that back. Okay. Because let me tell you, bro. You still got to worry about freaking the ball. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You still got to worry about them walls.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when the game slows down, man, I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
I like how Milwaukee. I like how they move, man. I like their so-called like low-key pieces. You know what I mean? The guys that ain't really stars, but they getting the job done. It's kind of like the guys that made up Miami last year. You know what I mean? They have a bunch of like low-key pieces that were doing their thing, such as a Tyler Hero and people of that nature.
Well, that's how you win championships right there.
Bro, absolutely. And
those guys that do it.
Oh, man, and going back to our Patriot conversation, this is what Bill Belichick sees. He looks around this team and says, you know what? I see a little bit of champion in all y'all, especially Cam. I'm bringing this back. We're going to draft well, and we're going to move forward. But, that's on that subject. But, again, he's always gotten it done with those low-key pieces. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what the Bucks have been doing for the past 2 years. And I just feel like, truthfully, man, the Bucks may be one piece away from really putting that thing in the finals. Not winning it, but just putting that thing in the finals where it needs to be. And I really feel like at the end, it's going to really come down to possibly the Nets and the Bucks, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if I got to bet,
I wouldn't argue that.
And if I got to bet, man, I may have to go to Milwaukee. I may have to, just because of the fact that Blake, I'm not sleeping on Blake, and if he brings that 12 points and 8 or 10 rebounds a game over there, that's going to be problematic in itself. Just keep in mind, Blake has a great mid-range game. I think people fail to realize.
Yeah, he does.
His mid-range game is great. I think people fail to realize that if he has to back you down, that's his specialty. The post is his specialty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And of course, and getting back to my point of he had nobody even throw him the ball or lob it up to down in Detroit. Man, that's not the problem now. Because I guarantee you, man, Kyrie can't wait to throw some shit up for him. Or James Harden. You know what I mean? Like
that guy's gonna be reinvigorated when he's there. He's gonna be reinvigorated. I guarantee that.
Yeah, man. And correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Is DeAndre Jordan still there or no?
Yeah, he's still there. He's still there in Brooklyn. So I mean, they played with each other before. So, you know, hey man,
and let me tell you, man, DeAndre's still getting up there. He's still catching those lobs.
He is.
Man.
He is.
Let me tell you, man. That's a strong man. That's a strong. Even if you kept him coming off the bench, that's a strong bench, man.
Yeah.
I'ma still
and
go
that
Milwaukee.
shit matters.
It does.
It matters.
It does.
It does. It matters, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm gonna still go Milwaukee. Will come out of the East. I'm gonna pick Milwaukee to come out. You know what I mean? But man, let me tell you, man. I know I sound crazy for betting against the Nets, man, with the talents of Durant and Harden and my guy, man, the point guard or whatever, has the brain right.
Oh, you're talking about Kyrie Irving?
Yeah, man, Kyrie, man. Kyrie's the animal. That's like a super team, and it's like the Justice League down there, man. They're like it's crazy. But man,
you're right though.
Sometimes when you get these guys together in those tight situations, such as the playoffs, it don't work out. But when you get a team that's been together like the Bucks, who have been through thick and thin together, these guys aren't battle tested together yet. They aren't battle tested together yet, man. That's
where my holdup is with Brooklyn. That's my only holdup with Brooklyn is that they haven't been battle tested yet. It is time for Milwaukee to break through. They done had the heartaches, just like Philly have. One of them two, to me, is going to break through. It wouldn't surprise me if it was Brooklyn, but it's that whole chemistry thing and going through the playoffs that to me got to happen first. But
I agree.
We'll see.
I agree with you, bro. I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. And we're gonna keep it on basketball, man. We're gonna keep it partly. We're gonna keep it in the NBA.
Man,
we'll keep it in the NBA.
The atrocity. The atrocity. The atrocity.
And this is seems like this next topic is. I don't want to say an ongoing thing, or it seems to be a reoccurring thing. It hasn't been consecutively, but it seemed like it has when I mentioned the Spike Lee situation and now this situation. And, to the listeners, man, if y'all know what we're talking about, we're gonna switch gears and we're gonna talk about how Patrick Ewing showed up to one of the Knicks games here recently and was refused to be in. They didn't let Patrick Ewing in. I was hearing that they didn't let him in the garden. Security said that they didn't know who he was.
Oh, I need to cut my light on for this. I want people to see my damn face with this shit.
Oh man!
Go ahead, big dog. I still got you.
Yeah, man. I was hearing security made the comment to him that they didn't know that who he was and they weren't gonna let him in. Some people are saying that this came from maybe James Dolan. I don't want to. I'm just stating to the people what we've heard. Being the sports podcaster that we are. We don't have any sources with the Knicks or no bullshit like that. You know what I mean? We have no connection to these motherfuckers. We just
no Woj bombs to drop over here.
Nah, man, no Woj bombs. You know what I mean? But, yeah, man. Like, I gotta tell you, man. When I heard this bullshit, I immediately thought James Dolan. I'm not gonna lie to you. I said he's at it again. He's on this bullshit again. You know what I mean? But what's sad is this. Patrick Ewing told security, he said, everyone in this building should know my name. And I just feel like, let's just say hypothetically speaking, this was an error on part of security.
Yeah.
If this security guard was you, maybe born in maybe like 2013, if it was new and was born in maybe say 2013, meaning not literally, but you kind of you're just new to the world. I could see you maybe making this mistake and maybe having to go get your boss and say, "Yo, I don't know this guy, but he claims that he used to work." And your boss, if you're the boss of the security of Madison Square Garden, I expect you to look at that said security guard and say, "Son, step aside, let this legend through." Nothing less than that. Nothing less than that. You know what I mean? Nothing less than that. Anything less than that would be uncivilized. Because you're talking about Patrick fucking Ewing. We're talking about the man who has his jersey hung up in the Raptors of Madison Square Garden, which is the place he was trying to enter.
One of the illest sneakers of all time with the Ewings back in the day. Don't get me started.
Come on, man. We talking about
I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
One of the all-time greatest centers ever. We talking about mid-range. Ever. Crazy.
Ever.
You know what I mean? Like,
member
on, man.
of the Dream Team.
Member of the Dream Team. We talking about that Patrick Ewing. You know what I mean? Yes, the same Patrick Ewing who's coaching the Georgetown Hoyas right now throughout the March Madness. That Patrick Ewing. He's a
word and legend. Salute.
Absolutely.
A legend.
He's a fucking legend, man. You know what I mean? Does he have a lot of championships? Because I know you guys are all you young guys, and some of you old niggas are afraid came on saying the player is a legend if he has a championship and saying he's not. Because no, we don't live by that shit in the Zone Sports Podcast.
Nah, that ain't how it works to me, buddy.
No, he never won the championship. But let me tell you, man, that man is a fucking god. He's a legend. He put the Knicks on his back several times. I watched it hands on. I know you watched it too, Corey. We from the same fucking era. You know what I mean? So, with all that being said, how can this be? How can they not let Patrick Ewing in the building? How, man?
Look, man, I know we only been on for a few weeks, and I'm gonna really watch my time here because I could really go on and on about this. This is by far the most disrespectful story outside of the Chad Wheeler story, because that's a whole different ball game. But strictly sports, this is the most disrespecting story I have heard and that we've done. Okay, first of all, man, allow me, as Stephen A. Smith would say, to go on my soliloquy, right? And so you bring up a valid point that these security guards, assuming that they're young, they're probably getting paid a bag of peanuts, right? I've done security before. Look, it is what it is. It's a shit job. You do it basically just to make money, yada, yada, yada. So they might not have known who he was, all right? And someone made a good point. Well, Patrick Ewing is fucking 7 foot something. How the hell do you just assume that this is just a regular guy? Now, I want to talk about what he did with the Knicks, and I want to talk about the fact that he didn't win a championship. Well, Charles Barkley didn't win one. Reggie Miller didn't win one. Patrick Ewing and the Knicks didn't win one. And a lot of these guys have one thing in common as to why they didn't win. Michael fucking Jordan. Michael Jordan kept a lot of people. Now, if you want to argue that year that he was out when they lost against the Rockets, or had that chance where he missed that wide open layup to get to the front. Okay, fine. Okay, but we ain't talking about that. We're talking about the disrespect of the Madison Square Garden. And I know you didn't want to say it, or you didn't want to go there. I will go there. New York Knicks, James Dolan. It's not really looking good if you're a black superstar for the New York Knicks. You look at what happened with Spike Lee. You look at what happened with Charles Oakley. And now Exhibit C, ladies and gentlemen, Patrick Ewing. When I used to call Patrick Ewing, that's how much he been dominating. When I was a little boy, when I didn't even know how to pronounce his last name. I want a pair of Ewings, mommy.
Oh my God, you too. I was just going to say, I used to ask my mom, hey man, can I get a pair of Ewings with the ball on the back? Oh, the ball on the back is crazy. Oh my God. Hey,
I used to do that.
For my era. Oh my God, those shoes are all white. Oh my God. Yo.
And if you never call Patrick Ewing Patrick Ewing, you a fucking lie.
You're a liar.
So man, look. So you got this going on here. Now, was James Dolan directly involved? Like you said earlier, we don't know. We ain't got no plug in there. Yeah. But it's starting to be where there is a smoke, there is a fire type of deal going on. Why aren't your players getting treated better? I was talking to my wife about this the other night, and we're Lakers fans. So you look at Jack Nicklaus, right? Would that have happened in Staples Center? No.
Can you
it would not
imagine
have.
that shit happening in Staples Center? Not letting Jack in? Holy shit.
Could you imagine this happening to Shaquille O'Neal, Magic? You know what? Forget them. Could you imagine this shit happening to Robert Horry with the Lakers? It would not happen. It would not happen.
I mean that's in every building from the Rockets to San Antonio to LA. That would not have happened to Robert Horry. No.
Now, I worked, when I still do my 9 to 5, but basically, in one of my old jobs, we would have big time customers that come through, right? And there would be a memo that would be sent out to our emails. Now, whether you read it or not, that's up to you. But the emails would be sent out saying, "Hey, we got such and such from Procter and Gamble coming through. Be on your best behavior wherever they need to go. Security, let them do their due diligence as long as they're accompanied properly, right?" And one thing that stuck out to me with Patrick Ewing was that he said he was accosted. Now, I'm a college graduate, but I didn't really know what that word accosted means. I am not afraid to let people know when I don't know what a fucking word means. I didn't know what accosted means. So I looked up what accosted was.
Okay.
To be constantly asked or bombarded about your presence. Kind of like, I will use it as an example. Let's just say someone knocks on my door. I open the door. I don't know who you are. What comes out of my mouth is, "What are you doing here? Why are you here? May I help you?" That's what accosted means in a real world example.
Okay.
This was happening to Patrick Ewing in the Madison Square Garden. And let me go ahead and bring it up a little bit more, because in the realm of superstars, I think that he is one of the most modest, humble superstars you will probably ever see. Never had the pleasure of meeting the man. He is a guy who's been screwed over time and time again for head coaching jobs in the NBA. Can't get a fair shake nowhere. And what does he do? He don't badmouth anybody. He takes it in stride, keep his head down to the ground, and he keeps it moving. Patrick Ewing is one of...
Let me add to your point of saying he's been screwed over for the people that don't know. He spent 15 years on the bench as an assistant coach in the NBA league.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
With no head coach, never had a head coaching job until he got to Georgetown. 15 years on the bench as an assistant.
That's right. And so Patrick Ewing is one of those guys where, you know what? Let's just say hypothetically, he's yelling or screaming at somebody. Your first reaction shouldn't be, well, why is Patrick Ewing yelling and screaming? Your first reaction should be, well, damn, what the hell did this guy do to have Patrick Ewing screaming at him? That's the mentality and mindset. Class set personified is Patrick Ewing. And I tell you what, James Dolan may not have had his hands on this directly, but you got to fix this, because what my wife and I was talking about, you look at like a Jack Nicholson that goes to the Lakers game. And granted, we will have some down years here and there, but the Lakers, we don't have down years for the longer stretch that the New York Knicks have, right? And so you got Spike Lee, who is basically a staple and an ambassador for the New York Knicks, whether in an official capacity or in an unofficial capacity.
Right.
He pays DC. This is a fucking classic black movie director. Mm-hmm. This guy could be doing any damn thing, but what does Spike do? Spike sits up here, gets season tickets to the shittiest of crummiest of New York Knicks games. And here's one thing about, I said James Dolan, the people call him Mr. Dolan. So let me call him James Dolan. First of all, when he is not the original owner of the Knicks, he is a inherited owner of the Knicks. It was passed down from his family. I want to say his dad. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, he was in the gym, right? And so what you have to understand is that even when the Knicks are trash, which has been a great deal. 1994, 95 was a long time ago. If you want to say they caught a smidge of fire, a smidge with Carmelo Anthony when they signed him 225 mil back in the day, I give you that. Okay, cool. I give you that. The Madison Square Garden, Big V, sells out damn near every game night. It is for whatever reason. I've never been to New York, but for whatever reason, it is the place to be. It has almost become cult-like where, oh, it's like going to the club. You got to go to club such and such. Oh man, we got to go catch. Hey, you trying to catch a Knicks game tonight? Yeah, sure. They're probably gonna lose, but hey, why not? Let's just go. And so it's not all Dolan's fault because the people there still support it. Given everything that happened to Spike Lee will not leave. He will not leave because of what was going on with him and his dad, how his dad used to take him to games. It is embedded in your life, even though he's from Brooklyn. But I get why you wouldn't necessarily switch, because the teams that we root for the most part, are teams that we grew up with. And Brooklyn wasn't around. There was New Jersey or whatnot. And the same deal with the fans or whatnot. They are loyal to a fault. And so basically nothing is going to happen, right? And that's sad. Yeah. But you have got to treat your stars better than this. I mean, could you imagine if Chris Bosh or Dwayne Wade went to South Beach and just got accosted trying to go from one point to another one? I mean, what happened with Spike Lee, where the guy made him go all the way. He was already in the arena and then made him leave because something was going on with his ticket and he had to go in with the general admission people. I mean, man, Knicks, that's why I say it is the most disrespectful guy. And I tell you what, man, people sit up here and wonder, and maybe Dolan don't know, don't show, don't care, or whatever. But if I'm a potential free agent, why the hell would I go to New York? Especially with Brooklyn right down the street. You don't do this to Patrick Ewing. Man. You don't do it to Charles Oakley. Hell, you don't do it to John Starks.
No.
Okay? You don't, like, that squad that they had during the early to mid 90s was rivaling none, right? And look, they ran up against a buzzsaw with Michael Jordan. That is what it is. You know, whatever. Yeah. But man, that is extremely sad. Extremely sad. And the fact that he can't, Patrick Ewing, I mean, these guys wasn't even picked. Georgetown wasn't even picked to make it to the tournament. And the fact that he came out and won the Big East, but in the same breath, he got to talk about how he's getting screwed over in his own damn building. And he's right. It is his damn building. It's Charles Oakley building. I mean, look, you could argue Spike Lee. Okay. At the end of the day, he's a super fan. But the players, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just can't imagine having my jersey in the rafters, and I can't even get in.
In the rafters.
Like, man, that is just some bullshit in itself, man. And
agreed.
And again, I don't understand like why nobody called Dolan. I know Dolan was in the building. You know what I mean? And if not, he was a phone call away. Hey man, we got this guy here saying he's somebody named Patrick Ewing. Of course, let his ass in. And by the way,
let him in.
You're fired, by the way, for calling me and not letting him in automatically. That should have happened.
I don't give a damn how old these security guards are. Okay, well, you need to learn. Okay, I don't care if you got to have pictures up in the building saying when this motherfucker come through, let him in. Like you just don't do it. You got to respect the OGs, man. And I ain't saying you got to kiss their ass, but just respect them, man. Just respect. That's all I'm saying, man. The dude did a lot. It's sad.
It's sad, man. You know what I mean? We're going to keep it on basketball, you know what I mean? We're just going to switch it over to the college joint now. Then the fact that it's March, you know what I mean? It's March, you know what I mean? A lot of teams going dancing, you know what I'm saying? A lot of teams ain't going dancing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, hey, man, you know, 68 teams in the tournament, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Before this is my Christmas gift.
Hey, bro, let me tell you, man. Last year, I was so sick that we didn't get
what
an NCAA tournament, man. I'm already sick that they don't even make the fucking basketball video games no more.
Oh, don't get me started on that. Yeah.
God almighty, man. Like I started to go out and see if I couldn't find me a copy of March Madness 0405 or something on the PS3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how bad I want
I
to
still
play
got
some March Madness.
I got that 09. I think I got that 09 one. Yeah.
Oh man, let me tell you, bro.
Yeah.
I'm so hyped for this, man. I was glued to the ACC tournament.
I'm excited.
I was mad that Carolina didn't win the ACC tournament, of course. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Was definitely glad that Duke didn't win it either, and I'm definitely glad that Duke is not in that bitch this year, even though they are considered a standby team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hopefully they can stay in their asses at home and not even be involved in the tournament. You know what I mean? But yo.
Well, and real quick with that, they turned down the NIT tournament. Like they turned that down.
What?
They turned that down.
I heard that this week. What?
Yeah, they turned that down. See, normally when Carolina is shitty and we don't make the tournament, Roy makes us play in the NIT tournament.
As he should.
Or whatnot.
As he should.
And I thought that was a tad bit lame for Duke to be like, well, you know what, man, we're not going to play in the NIT. I'm like, well, like turn down the invitation. Like I couldn't believe it, and I just like, really? Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. It's very classless of them. It's very classless in my opinion. Especially if it wasn't because of any COVID protocols or what have you. I don't like the fact they turned that down. I don't. Because you look a little bougie.
You would have played in the NCAA tournament had you made it.
Absolutely. You look a little bougie. And that's what I always liked about us. If we didn't make it to the big joint, we was going down and messing with, you know what I mean, NIT and trying to win that. You know what I mean? Like we take pride in college playoff basketball, so to speak. We take pride in that, man. Like we want to win it either way, NIT or NCAA.
Yeah.
We want to just win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm really surprised at Coach K. I want to hear more about the situation of why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna do my knowledge and try to figure that out and see if I can get some information on that. But man, I don't like that. Yeah. Like I'm really surprised at Duke, man. Wow. So I guess they're gonna wait it out and try to make the tournament. You know, on the standby team time.
I get if that's the reasoning, then I could maybe give them that if that's the reasoning. But right now it's set for like the whole Joe Lunardi, the way he does his brackets, like the whole next four in or the first four out type deals. Those would be the teams on standby. I don't think that Duke would have made the tournament unless they won the ACC. Now that being said, it still would have been interesting to see what would have happened minus the COVID scare. Now, for all I know, they could have caught fire and won the ACC tournament, or maybe not. But I knew they had to at least get to the final, if not win it, to even have a bid at even getting to it. That's how bad they were this year. And that's not saying a lot because we weren't that good this year either. But, you know, I just, my whole thing is this, because the Duke's women, here's what I give the Duke women props on. They say, you know what, man, we ain't fooling around with this COVID. We're shutting it down. We're not playing at all. And if Coach K felt that strong, then I'm not sure. I will be fair to Coach K. With the ladies, it was the players' decision to be like, man, nah, we ain't doing this shit. We're not going to do it. So for all I know, the players wanted to play, and maybe Coach K did not want to play. So I will be fair in that regard, or whatnot. But outside of that, man, dude. To me, you keep playing till somebody tells you can't play no more. Whether you getting eliminated from a tournament, whether COVID takes you out, takes your program out, but you keep playing. Like you think, look, we are a blue blood too. Okay, we didn't get off on playing in the NIT tournament. Those 2 years. We don't like the shit either. But you play. You play. You know, but yeah.
I really can't believe that, man. But you know, we got the 68 teams, you know what I mean? The brackets is out. Man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's big boy basketball right now. You know what I mean? There's so many teams out here.
So
you know
beautiful.
What I mean? It's Oklahoma State, it's Alabama, it's Michigan, it's a whole lot of squads, it's the sleeper squads, it's UNCG, baby.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
UNCG.
Let's go. You know what I mean? It's Isaiah. Shout out to Isaiah LeBron. boys out there at UNCG. You know what I mean? We got Florida State popping off soon. Yo, I'm rooting for UNCG. My daughter go to UNCG, so I'm hyped for UNCG. I'll be locked and loaded by UNCG hoodie on when they tip off against Florida State. I hope they can kick their ass and because it's March. Shit happens, baby. Shit happens, baby.
Boy, you ain't kidding.
Happens, you know what I mean?
You ain't kidding.
I'm ready. I want to see something. I'm here for the upset, baby. You know what I want, Corey, this year? I want somebody from the MEAC to upset somebody. Let's go, MEAC. I want somebody from the MEAC.
Can I talk about the MEAC real quick? I am a proud alumni. I am a proud alumni of North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, based out of Greensboro, North Carolina. Y'all people may have heard of them. One of the illest, coldest HBCUs in the fucking world.
You might have heard about greatest song coming on her, G.O. You know what I mean?
You might. But here's the deal, man. We was number one in the MEAC, and we had COVID positive test that took us out of the MEAC tournament.
That hurt me, man.
And this really could have been a year where we made the tournament again. Because we made it, like 4 or 5 years ago, give or take, something like that.
We made it a few times overall, yeah.
Yes, we have. We have. And I never forget, we played some school called Liberty, and got them. Now we got smoked by Louisville in the field of 68, but we ain't worried about that. Going dancing with these one bid leagues is something. I love it, and everybody don't like it. And to say all that to say that this is the last year that A&T is going to be in the MEAC conference, or whatnot.
Hold on, yeah. It's breaking news. Hold on, man.
A&T is moving from the MEAC. I thought you knew, brother.
I didn't know.
They are moving. This is the last year. This is the last year, man. I think they're going. Let me pull it up real quick. They are. This is the last year, and they are going. I want to say, is it the Big South, Big Sky? It's some weird conference, man. And that's why I really wanted to get it this year. I really did. And it is so sad and somber. First of all, we shouldn't be leaving the MEAC, and this is a whole nother conversation. And I get that this is just where my heart is, with it or whatnot. But yeah, we're joining the Big South Conference in July 2021 of this year.
What teams are in those teams?
I'm reading it right now. Let's see. The current full members are Campbell University, Charleston Southern, Gardner-Webb, Hampton. That'll be a good one. High Point University, Longwood, Presbyterian College, Radford, UNC Asheville, South Carolina Upstate, and Winthrop.
Let me tell you, bro. that is a tougher conference in the league. I'm gonna tell you. I see you, A&T. I see what you're doing. I see you trying to get your, trying to get your national publicity.
That's what
I see. We here right now, A&T. I see you.
That's what they're doing.
Hey, look, when you just told me this saddened me at first because I'm like, oh my God, what are we doing?
Good, because I'm still sad.
But look, I'm gonna tell you, don't be sad for long, because I'm telling you, that just means the program is getting better. Because we are going to be competing against teams like High Point U. Yo, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but High Point, they be going dancing a lot. They be one of them teams that be in there dancing. And UNC Asheville ain't a team to sleep on either. You know what I mean? They be going dancing sometimes.
No question.
You know what I mean? And Campbell too. Campbell has made some noise before. So I'm not going to knock that move. I'm interested to see A&T going against High Point. And again, if you're not from North Carolina, you're not from this triangle area, you won't understand, you know what I mean? Just the joy in that. But man, I like it. Man. I like that move. I want to see. I didn't know Hampton was in that though. I didn't know Hampton was in that. That's crazy. Okay.
Hampton is up in there. And you know what? I'm going to miss it for the rivalry that we're probably not going to be having like we used to have. I I love going against them damn Eagles. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I love going against them. Bethune-Cookman, we even had Howard up in the MEAC or whatnot. But the main one the one I'm gonna miss is going up against Central. So hopefully we can still have something that goes against it. But yeah, no, we are growing as a university in regards to sports, and that's where that move is made from. I'm quite sure we're probably gonna be on TV a bit more. Or whatnot. So things of that nature. So yeah, it's a somber, sad, but I understand, you got to let the schools grab their wings and fly. But man, I tell you, it was something special about that MEAC, man. But man, shout out to, because I'm trying, who got in from the MEAC? Let me pull up. I
want to say Howard. Am I wrong?
Let's see here. I think it. That's a damn good question. Let me pull this stuff up. Boy, this is my Christmas deal here, man. Because let me tell you something. When we didn't have this last year, I was crushed. And when I'm talking about when I watch March Madness, man, I take off work for that first weekend because you're talking about from 12 o'clock to damn near 12:30 at night.
Basketball.
Round 1 and round 2 is just straight.
I love it.
Action of just, my God.
And see, I'm such a fan of the early games. I don't like tomorrow. I'll be glued.
Yes.
But I'll be glued tomorrow.
I'm talking about I don't move. It's no honey to do list. It's none of that. It's none of that stuff going on, man. And I'm telling you, man, it is great. It's a wonderful experience. Just to sit and just watch it, just freaking nonstop. And you start talking about where there's 2 or 3 games on at one time, and you're flipping back and forth to see who's going to hit the last second shot, man. Oh gosh,
it's crazy, man. And I love it so. I've been loving it since I was a little boy. I'm really mad this weekend. Saturday, I'll be in my concealed weapons permit class from 9 to 6.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to miss a lot of those games and popping off on Saturday from like 12 to 6. But let me tell you, man, as soon as I get home, I'm catching up. I'll be catching up, man. I'll be watching the bang of those games on Saturday, and especially Sunday. Don't ask me to do nothing on Sunday besides
nothing.
I got to watch my wrestling that come on. It's a pay-per-view event. I'm a big wrestling fan.
Oh, respect. You know what I mean? Shout out to Fastlane.
You already know Fastlane, baby. You know what I'm saying? You already know. So we tuned in to Fastlane on Sunday. But boy, let me tell you, before that,
I might have Fastlane on the iPad, but respect though, man. Respect.
Hey, look, I'm about to pull that fast on the iPad, big screen. Gotta have the college games on Sunday, man. Because I'm telling you, I'm locked in, bro. I'm so locked in.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. I want to see the upsets. I want to see the tears. I want to see the dances. Oh my God, man! I'm so excited.
So from the MEAC, we got Norfolk State that won the MEAC.
Okay.
And they play in the first 4 tomorrow.
Who they got?
Tomorrow at 8:40 on True TV. So look, whenever A&T don't make it, I root for any other MEAC guy, MEAC team, or any HBCU. Definitely, no question, man.
Who they playing tomorrow?
They are playing. Let's see. They are playing Appalachian State. Appalachian State, 8:40.
Let me tell you, that is going to be
a
great game. Let me tell you, if people haven't been paying attention to Appalachian State, let me tell you, man, that little matchup right there is going to be a barn burner, bro. I promise you, it is going to be crazy. Bro, that's the game I'm gonna be tapped in tomorrow on. I want to see that. I want to see those four. I love the little teams, man. I love the little Hofstra team and all that. You know what I mean? I love them all, man.
These cats, they sleep on some of these first 4 games. I'm such a March Madness junkie. Even back when the first 4 games was like on a Tuesday, and a Tuesday and a Wednesday, I watch those 2. Like that's how much I care about it, especially this time of the year. And I'm telling you, man, this year's to me is going to be a hop out. Like I think really anybody could win. And I think that's what's going to make it that much more exciting. Yeah, I get it. Some of your traditional blue bloods aren't in there like your Duke and Kentucky or whatnot. But I think that's actually even going to make it better because it's going to be not necessarily a toss-up. I don't think you could go chalk this year. It's just so much uncertainty, and I don't really keep up with but so many college teams. Like I don't do with football, but like with college basketball, I only keep up with like maybe Carolina, Duke, most of the ACCs, obviously A&T and whoever's in the MEAC. That's about really it. But man, this stuff you cannot get enough of it, man. I'm talking about the only time I move I make sure the eat and to use the restroom. I make sure I got a shower and all that stuff out now because from 12 to 12 at night, I do a whole bunch of nothing other than being in front of a TV, man.
Right. I might doze off a little bit, wake up. Oh, hold on, I missed this. Oh, let me I got it right now. Check my phone. You know what I mean? But let me tell you, I'm not moving. I mean, I move as less as possible tomorrow. Like I'm locked. I'm so locked in, man. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna help my daughter with homeschool, and I'm trying to have that all done by 1:00 tomorrow. You know what I mean? I promise you.
Yeah.
I'm so locked in, man. I'll be editing this podcast and watching those games tomorrow. That's exactly what I'll be doing. That's it, man. Let me ask you though, who you got winning this game? Who you got? Who you got winning it?
Let me tell you something, man.
You gotta have one team. Who you got, man?
I can only pick one. All right, I'm gonna try my best.
I'll give you two. I'm gonna give you two. Give me your two picks to win it, man.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna either roll with Gonzaga having the undefeated season, which is not necessarily a hot take, or Villanova, man. I just think that Jay Wright, he get the boys together in a way that I just never seen. I would say Michigan, but they got I don't know the name of the player, but he got like some type of injury and he's one of their key players. So I don't know about Michigan or whatnot, but man, what Shaka Smart is doing with Texas, that's one. But you said two, so I'm limited to if I had to put money on it, which I would never do, either Gonzaga or Villanova, man. I can't. I'm saying this because this is a sports show and we have to pick because you will get upset if I keep pushing. But man, this is such a different year, and I think it could be damn near 10 teams that can win this shit this year. I really do. Who you got, man?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, man. I got Michigan winning this thing. I got Michigan winning.
Okay. Even with the injury to old buddy?
It's personal for me. It's personal. I'm down. It's personal.
Okay. Break that down.
I grew up, of course, a major Carolina fan. But let me tell you, man.
Yeah.
Fab Five ran my world, man. I was in love
Fair
with
enough.
Fab, man, and I still.
Yeah.
I mean, to this day, I run Black Knight.
The squad
because
too.
of the Fab Five. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, man, Jada Rose and them boys, Chris Webber, Juwan Howard, Jimmy King and them boys.
Oh.
Like,
yes, sir.
Yo, man, I forgot the big guy who was down low. He was nice too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, yeah, man. Yeah. It's personal for me.
Fair enough.
And I love the fact that, we got Juwan Howard back as head coach. I want to see him, you know what I mean?
Man, that's sweet.
Yeah, I want to see him go as far as he can, you know what I mean? For real.
Yeah. And
I also, man, hey, I like it's two teams, man. It's split for me. Because man, I like that kid down there at Oklahoma State, man. I
know exactly who you're talking about.
Chad Cunningham or something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I like him. I like his game. I like how tough he is. You know what I mean? But man, Alabama looking good too.
Right?
Alabama looking good, man.
I thought we was talking football. I'm like, Alabama, they got a damn 2 seed.
But you know what, man?
This is that year. It's that
year, man. It's that year, man. And it's teams that you just can't account for, man. Like I love Louisville. You know what I mean? I love Carolina. I don't think the boys got what it takes this year to actually just clinch that thing. And
it's going to be tough for them to get out the weekend. I mean, obviously, you see who I'm repping, but boy, if we get out of the weekend, it'll be a miracle. It'll be a miracle. Even though we have been playing better.
We got Wisconsin this weekend?
Yes, we do. Yep.
8 or
Yep,
9.
we got
Yeah, 8
Wisconsin.
or 9 seed. Yeah,
8 and 9.
man.
Yeah. So that's just a toss up if anything.
Yeah, man, that's so tough, man. But yeah, man.
Man.
I got Michigan and I got Michigan and Oklahoma State / Alabama, man. Trying to win this
Yeah.
thing and take it on home, man.
I'm gonna do a quick rundown of teams that I think could just really that just really stands a snowball's chance in hell. I could see Baylor. Okay. I already said Villanova already. Man, can't sleep on Florida. Ohio State. Let's see. Let's go back here over to the south, the west region here. Obviously, Oklahoma, you just said that. Creighton. I'm not going to sleep on Creighton, man. They in at a 5. Hey. Virginia. Haven't brought them up. Hey. Have not brought up Virginia.
Yeah, hey, you can't sleep on Creighton, man. I mean, I know Patrick Ewing and the Georgetown boys, they made it look easy. But, man, let me tell you, man, Creighton always bring it every March Madness. Please don't sleep.
Yes, they do. They're that team, you forget about them until March hits. I'm telling you, man, it is something. It's something. And then, I mean, Illinois, now they got, I cannot think of this guy's name, but he wears a mask and he looks like Robin. From Batman and Robin.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he got the long hair. He got the long hair, right? Man, he's nice.
And to the fans of the show, we keep saying old buddy and old boy and all that. It's too many. I can't keep up with them. But just know you're gonna see a son bitch from Illinois that got on the Robin mask from Batman and Robin. That motherfucker been going crazy. Okay, so you can't sleep on him. Georgia Tech has been playing fantastic or whatnot. And let's see who else we got here. And Texas. So either one, it wouldn't surprise me if either of them teams hit the Sweet 16. It wouldn't surprise me at all. This is gonna be. People are thinking because the traditional blue bloods in there, it's gonna be a shitty season. No. You can call it an asterisk. You can call it whatever you want. From a fan standpoint, this March Madness may be one of the best we've seen in a long time. Don't be surprised if by the time we get through with Monday night that you're gonna have at least about 6 or 7 buzzer beater games. Because I'm gonna tell you what, man. This year, probably more so than any other year, and I don't know if it's just because we didn't have the tournaments last year. I've been really keeping up with these conference tournaments and these buzzer beaters, these games that's been going down to the wire. I've rarely ever watched outside of the ACC. I've rarely ever just sit back and just make a whole Saturday of just watching conference tournament. I've rarely ever watched them. I watched them this year. Man, I'm telling you, it's going to be something in the air. It's going to be something in the air, dude. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, mark my word.
Man, these conference tournaments have been phenomenal, bro. These conference tournaments
they've been great, man.
These tournaments have been phenomenal, bro. Like, I promise you they have, man. Like, it's been some upsets. It's been some, some ones that you knew that we're going to pull it off. It's been great. And, again, shout out to Georgia Tech, too, man. God almighty. Them boys scrappy. The point guard they got, man, again, here we go saying, oh,
I know you're something to do with the curly hair.
Dude with the curly hair, man. I like him. I like him.
Yeah.
I like. He's a hard-nosed point guard, bro. I like him.
He is. He's a blue-collar cat.
Yeah. I hope he goes to the league.
And I love how when they won, the gratitude, you could tell how much that shit meant to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Man. I mean, and again, man, it's just part of, it's part of the march, baby. It's part of the madness. You never know who's gonna win this thing. That's what I love about it, baby.
It is, and I tell you what, man, this because I used to try to work while streaming the games on the computers and stuff like that, man. And I just said the hell with it. I said the hell with life. And I just tell my job, I'm like, man, look, the same way people take off work for Christmas or whatever, I take off work for this stuff, man. I don't want to be bothered unless you watching the game. I don't want, man, dude, just I'm chilling. Doing work, man. I'm telling you, I don't work with the NCAA tournament on, dog. I just don't. I quit doing that shit a long time ago.
So what you think? You all starting this Friday, or you start tomorrow?
Yeah. No, I'm starting tomorrow.
Oh man, look
I'm starting tomorrow.
This weekend start right now. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm off. Fuck the dumb shit. I'm telling you, I'm off. I'm off, Jack. I don't mess around, dog. I use my vacation days for this stuff. I don't mess around, man. Like, what you doing? Nothing. A staycation at the house. Watching sweaty men dribble a basketball for 12 hours. Hey, that does it for me. I don't know about you, but it does it for me. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm right with you, bro. I'll be right there tomorrow, locked in on these games. You know what I mean? So we come back next week. We'll have something crazy to talk about. You know what I mean? I'm dropping this pod tomorrow to keep the tournament off. You know
Word
what I
up.
mean? I'm gonna edit this thing and put this thing out for people on the SoundCloud, YouTube, so they can enjoy it. You know what I mean? During this March Madness weekend, they can tap into our takes. You know what I mean? Tap into everything we talking about. You know what I'm saying? And just try to, try to keep the comparisons and see how we was wrong and how we was right. You know what I mean? We got to get it out there, man. It's that March Madness special today, baby.
And I tell you what, salute if your bracket makes it out of the weekend. Salute to you, because I have yet to have done that. My wife, she's won tournaments that we've played in before. I think she won twice and came in second place one time. Much as I know about sports, that's what I love about March Madness. I don't know shit. My brackets typically barely make it out the first 2 days.
You know what?
My bracket is going to be shot by Monday.
You know what? I never do the bracket thing, bro. I never do it. Do it.
That just adds it adds that much, and we don't really even do it. Well, we got pools that we play in. But it's like sometimes it's just fun. Like I'm not in a paid league this year.
Right.
It's just fun just to keep up with, man. That just adds it on steroids, man. It's like playing fantasy football. It's just that it takes it to that next level, man. It's just it's crazy. Me and my wife play it every year. Every single year, just for bragging rights, even if it ain't about no money. It could be for house chores. It could be for whatever. But it's just like, my wife, man, let me tell you something about my wife, man. Her whole, like, I sit up here, I look at stats, I look at coaching, I look at what region they're in. Oh, not my wife. My wife have won multiple championships based off if the guy's cute, if they like the color of their uniform, if she would ever visit their city and or state. Has she ever visited their city and or state before? And would she be willing to visit their state? And all that stuff, and she knocks it out every single time, dude.
Wow.
Unbelievable. That's the March Madness of it, man. Wow. March Madness of it.
What a strategy. What a strategy, man.
Man.
You know
that's how it is.
You know how I would pick mine if I'm gonna do it.
How you pick yours?
I'm gonna cut on the PS3. I'm gonna throw that college basketball game, man. And I'm gonna scrimmage the boys. You know what I mean? Whoever gonna win this scrimmage, I'm gonna check off. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, bro, I might print out me a little bracket tonight. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Go through, see who I'm gonna mark out my guarantees, who I think my guarantees are gonna be. And for my mates, I might throw them on the game tomorrow morning. You know what I mean? When I wake up and see, whoever wins, I'm gonna, you know what I mean, mark them down for the win. I don't know. You know what I mean? I might have to do that though, man. See what comes out.
I can't wait, boy. I cannot wait.
Can't wait, man. I know y'all is tuning in to listen. I know y'all can't wait. I know y'all hyped for Saturday, especially if you love sports. You love the college basketball, baby. This is what your year should be about right here. You know what I mean? This is what it's about.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? We hope that when y'all hearing this, y'all enjoying the podcast, man. We're gonna keep it going for y'all. You know what I mean? Keep y'all on the fresh topics. And yes, again, it was no Chad Willis situation update. It seems like they're
nothing up.
Yeah, they're just waiting on the court date to arrive, and I think they're just waiting on sentencing and things like that. Of course, we tapped in. You know what I mean? We ain't off that yet. We're gonna see what happens with that situation. You know what I mean? But we hope everybody enjoyed their weekend. Enjoy this March Madness tournament. You know what I mean? We're going to be right back at y'all boys, you know what I mean? Next weekend on a Saturday, how we get on a Saturday. You know what I mean? It's a special pod. We're dropping it on this Thursday. You know what I mean? March Madness style. Kicking it off, you know what I mean? With the Zone Sports Podcast. Yo, everybody that's out there in the world today, man, y'all be careful. Wear your mask. This COVID, go get your vaccine. I got my first round of shots yesterday, Corey. You know what I mean?
Get mine tomorrow, big dog.
Oh man, salute. You know what I mean? Salute. It's all right, man. Ain't nothing wrong. I want to let all my black people know, man, that's scared. Ain't nothing wrong with it, man. Go get this shit. You know what I mean? I'm 24 hours in. Only thing wrong, my arm is sore. That's it. I ain't had nothing else. I wasn't laid out. My arm
you still living, breathing, and walking. You know what I'm saying?
Still.
Get it.
And I guarantee you, whatever side effect you get, it won't be worse than COVID. That's the point. That's the
Damn
point.
right about that. Don't get me started.
That's the point. You know what I mean? That's the point, man. You know what I mean? Get your vaccine, man, so we can get back to normal as possible. I know you want to see your family. Some of y'all been seeing y'all family. Us, not so much. You know what I mean? My mom just got her vaccine. She's doing fine. She got the Johnson & Johnson.
Salute.
She's doing great. You know what I mean? My daughter just got the Johnson & Johnson. My whole family get it, man.
Okay.
Wait on. I heard they testing it for babies now from 2 to 12. We need all that. We need all that, man. You know?
Get whatever's available. I mean, we could be picky. I'm getting the Pfizer, but man, I'm telling you, if they had the Johnson & Johnson there, my ass would have been right there. I don't care at this point. Give me something, because something is better than nothing at this point.
Absolutely. Hey, they're telling people to stop.
So you got the Johnson & Johnson, so you're done.
So, well, I got the Pfizer.
Oh no,
my daughter got the Johnson & Johnson. Yeah, me and my wife got the Pfizer.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And
Word
people,
up. Salute.
Go get it, people. Like we
get vaccinated.
Get vaccinated.
Get it.
Stop playing, man. You know
get it. Y'all don't know what's in y'all foods and y'all eating that. Just get the damn shot,
man.
So we can get back.
Don't even get me started on the places you nasty niggas be sticking your tongues in. You know what I'm saying? That you
nasty R&B niggas. Nasty. Nasty R&B niggas. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. R&B niggas. Y'all know what y'all be doing.
Yeah, man, yo, go get that vaccine, baby. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you know, like we gotta get back to some normalcy. You know what I mean? Man, Corey, we want to do the pod in person, man. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You know, we gotta get back to doing it, baby. You know, but please, yo, it's free. It don't cost y'all nothing. You know what I mean? They're taking groups 1 through 4 right now. You ain't gotta wait on your group.
Get signed up.
Call them. You know
I'm driving a damn hour to get my shot tomorrow in Lexington. So, I'm getting in where I fit in. I don't give a damn. I try to do the one in Greensboro. They filled up. Hey, cool. They said they got some in Davidson County. I'll be there.
Yep.
I'll be there.
I had to go out of the Greensboro last night to get mine. You know what I mean?
Word up.
But it was basically filled up. You know, I had to call twice. You know what I mean? To try to book mine. And still, for me, that's a drive coming from Winston. It's basically like an hour. You know what I mean? 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
But the one here in Winston that my daughter went to, they were booked up as well. So I had to go out of the Greensboro to get mine. Either way, man, just get it. Stop vaccine shopping around. Get the one that's available. Get the one that's available. They're all good. They're all good. They all keep you from dying.
Fact. That's the main thing.
Oh God, man! Please, black people, please, man, my people. Let's get it. Let's get back to normal, man. You know what I mean? Like maybe next year, me and Corey can go to the March Madness. You know what I mean? We might can do the pod for the March Madness. You know what I'm saying? Doing the pod for the March.
That's what I'm saying.
Doing the pod for
all
the
I'm saying.
Tournament. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man. We're trying to get there, man. You know, so. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day when y'all hear this, man. Tune into the motherfucking tournament. Enjoy the weekend. Corey, I know what you're gonna be doing. I'm gonna be texting you throughout the whole weekend. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you see this game? You see this game? You see this game? Talk about the upset.
Nigga, I saw that shit. Yep.
You know what I mean? We're gonna get back at y'all next Saturday. You know what I mean? With another podcast. Yo, keep the support coming through Instagram. You know what I mean? All the social media platforms, Facebook. You know what I mean? Keep watching the clips. Keep watching the full episodes. We appreciate all the love from SoundCloud, wherever, man. We thank y'all, man, for real.
Thank you. Salute.
Corey, I'm gonna holler at you, man. Yo, be safe, bro.
All right, man.
One.
Yes, sir. Until we meet again, brother. All right, now.
Peace, bro.